So this is a practice of resting with support. And there is some technique involved, but there's also an attitude. This attitude of being curious and open and accepting and having an attitude of kindness towards ourselves as we practice. So you find a way to sit that is going to support the practice. You could say it's not too loose, but it's not too tight. It's how you would sit in recognition that you're doing something that is in your own best interest and in the best interest of others. And in thinking of why we practice, what's our motivation to practice? In some ways it's different for everybody, but underneath it all is we want to be happy and we don't want to suffer. And so we're learning to know ourselves better through our practice. We're learning to allow the mind to rest its obsessive reactivity. In the hope that this will bring us more sustainable happiness and that we'll be more balanced, more able to help others, cause less trouble in the world. So, where in your body can you feel the breath? It's possible not to feel the breath if you're distracted, but if you pay attention, where in your body can you feel the breath? And maybe you could allow the breath to go a little bit deeper into your tummy. Not forcing anything, but allowing the breath to fully breathe in and to fully breathe out. And you might be aware of the breath for a while, and then the mind might go off again. So to help the mind to settle, we sometimes have this feeling of equalizing the in-breath and the out-breath. You can count to 3 or 4 on the in-breath and then again on the out-breath. Or you may prefer just to have a sense of rhythm in the breath. And at this point in the practice, there is a bit of a feeling of effort, not blocking out other thoughts, but deciding to put the attention with the coming and going of breath. Not too tight, but not too loose. And then letting go of any feeling of counting or trying to make the breath equal, and just being with the breath. And perhaps paying attention to how it feels in your body as breath is released. It's not that we need to decide to release the breath. The body knows when it's time. Just noticing that, it's time to release the breath. And the softening as the breath is released. And then perhaps noticing what sensations you're aware of in your body. And again, if you don't pay attention, it's possible to go through the day with no awareness of the sensations in your body. But if you did pay attention, what would you notice? You might notice the movement as breath comes and goes. You might notice that each breath is a little bit different. You might notice how your bum's resting on the seat, supporting the weight of your body. You might notice how your feet are touching the floor, perhaps, points of contact. You might notice how your hands are resting. You might notice that sensations are actually changing all the time. would it be to give ourselves a few moments with no real expectations and not trying to do anything and not giving the sensations even a name, to just experience as if for the first time how it is to sit in this human body? It seems to be that the body knows how to breathe. It knows how to sit. In a way, we don't need to do very much. If you were to check in with your body right now, is there something that you're doing that you don't actually need to do to sit here? It's a sense of holding on. A sense of doing something that might be reflected in your body. So you could give yourself permission, perhaps, to let go of that, to relax a bit. But there's no need to get into a fight with ourselves and with our body. If for whatever reason there's a tension in the body that just doesn't want to let go, we're going to give it permission to be there. Okay, I relax with that. I'll rest with whatever sensations are present. And maybe the mind could kind of learn from the body. And we could just give ourselves permission to be off duty, to take a break. It doesn't mean that we have to make thoughts go away, because that would be doing something. That wouldn't be off duty. It's more a sense of knowing what's happening, but having a feeling that I don't need to get involved. They sometimes say it's like old people watching children playing. Maybe you could have an awareness of the gentle coming and going of breath. And the feeling of being in the body. It's not a solid thing, it's a constant flow, but we could be with it. So, how would it be to have this sense of breath and body as a kind of reference point? We know that it's there, we know that it's happening. We don't need to improve it, we don't need to do anything about it. We just know that it's happening. And if we have an intention to maintain that awareness, maybe it's possible to allow thoughts to come and go freely without getting involved. And finding out for yourself, how much support do you need from the breath and the body to not get too lost in thought? Not too loose, but not too tight. Is it possible for a thought to arise and to know that it's arising? And to just let it go? And if when you do that, the thought arises that, oh, that's weird, I don't think I can do that. That's really nice, I want to keep doing that. Could you let that thought go? With just enough attention on the breath and the body to allow the mind to be free, but not get lost. That's resting. Rest in the feeling of being on duty. Rest in the feeling that I need to react. And it won't be perfect. And if from time to time you find you're lost in a story, or thoughts get kind of sticky and you really can't let them go, it's all right. If you've noticed that you're lost in thought, what would it take for you to come home, back to the breath, back to the body? You don't need to unravel all of the thoughts that you ended up getting lost in. They've gone anyway. Just come home. And sometimes there might be too many thoughts. Not that we're trying to get rid of them, but sometimes just loads of thoughts and it might feel very busy. If that happens, how would it be to just let it happen? Like with the body, we gave it permission to relax, but sometimes it doesn't want to. So I say, okay, I can be with that. Could we rest with whatever happens? Just this quiet, gentle reference point as a breath. Just there. And not trying to make anything happen, but not trying to stop anything from happening. That would be resting in the awareness of whatever's happening. What would that be like for you right now? We're not trying to do anything. That's not resting. By being aware of whatever happens. And we rest in the need to do something about it. Plenty of time for that later. Just now, we can be off duty. And before we close the practice, maybe taking a few moments to reflect back on the time we've had sitting together. What might have been useful, what might have felt that that was what I needed, what might have been challenging and quite tricky, difficult. But overall, perhaps, is there a feeling of gratitude and appreciation that we're able to sit together? We're able to find our way home. We're able to work with our mind in a way that has long-term benefits for ourselves and others. And of course, we need gratitude to ourselves, appreciation that we made the effort to be here. Could have done something else, but we made a good choice. And I think we need appreciation to everyone who's gone before us, who's preserved these traditions of knowing how to rest the mind. Everyone who's shared the practices with others, kept them alive. And what about all the people in our lives who've helped us? We didn't suddenly appear here today knowing how to switch on the computer and how to sit and how to practice. Maybe a feeling of gratitude to all the people who've helped to make your life what it is today. And would you want to share the benefit of the practice with others if you could? Is there a kind of childlike sense of, I want other people to be happy. I don't want people to suffer. If you would connect with that and connect with your breathing, would you want to send the benefits of your practice with your breath to others?